You guys, I feel kind of bad right now. If I can be honest with you, is I just went on a listing appointment all the way across town, on a Sunday morning, knowing that I probably couldn't sell their house, which is, you don't hear a lot of agents saying I probably can't sell this house because I feel like I can sell just about anything. But I'll explain more what I mean, which is to say, these people called me, they found us on Google, and they were in a situation where her mother is a little older, needs to move in. We're seeing a lot of that where families are moving in together, right? This economy and everything. And so her mother's a little elderly, father passed away, and so she's going to be moving in with them. And they only have a 3-bedroom, and they have 2 children and some animals and stuff. So they need to sell so that they can buy. And I ran the numbers, and I could tell based on what they owed after buying just 3 years ago that they were still a little bit upside down, meaning that the money that they could make off of the home versus what they owe was inverse. And so the question is, like, why did I even go there? And they kind of looked at me that way too. I drove all the way there, and I'll tell you why. Is I wanted to give them the respect of actually laying eyes on the house. There's a lot I can tell online based on comps in the community, aerial photos, old photos, what they've told me, what they've done, improvements and repairs, but I need to lay eyes on the property. But still, I went to the property, saw what I needed to see, sat down with them and said, I'm so sorry to tell you this. But the only way we can probably sell this house is if you're going to bring some money to close. And I've done that before. I have past clients or even my friends who were just in a situation where they either needed to sell bad enough or wanted to sell bad enough that they were willing to bring a certain amount of cash to close to get it sold. And the market has gone down. But there's also options that I wanted to bring to their attention, such as, are we in a situation where you qualify for a short sale? The bank would take a little bit less money owed, and would that affect you getting into a new house? Could we possibly put tenants in the place for you and you can rent it out and then buy a new place? Because there are loan options for that. Turns out the answer there was no. He's a VA buyer, and his VA loan benefits were used up and they didn't have down payment money. So anyway, we sat down and we explored all those options, and they were kind of looking at me like, why did you drive all the way over here just to tell us that there's no hope, that we can't move into this new, beautiful, new construction home that we've already set our heart on? And the answer is a couple is because, I want to respect them enough to tell them the truth, because they're welcome to go get other opinions. But at the end of the day, whatever happens, if I'm wrong, so be it. I'm not always perfectly right on every single thing. And I'm humble enough to say that sometimes, maybe I missed something, maybe I'm wrong, but I felt pretty confident in my numbers and looking at the condition of the house and things like that, which is to say, whatever happens, I'm going to stay in touch with them. And if it turns out a couple years down the road that they finally are in a position with enough equity to sell, hopefully they'll remember me as the girl who drove over there on a Sunday morning and told them the truth lovingly. And I'm also doing that to tell you, if you're in a position where you bought a few years ago and it doesn't look like you're not sure if you'll be able to sell, but you're outgrown your house or circumstances have changed, I'm perfectly happy to come look at your situation too. And who knows, maybe we can find a solution.